Hmm.
How much purview does the Board of Finance have with the CFO and the finance department? I mean, you would think that there's some kind of shared responsibility given the kind of numbers and factors that you have to consider. Do you have in the way you talk about the Board of Selectmen having so much purview over other things, legal, contractual, other things? How much can you know, take over a bit with in terms of the finance department and financial matters?
As it comes to the finance department and the personnel, the direct legal answer is we have no purview. That entirely sits with the Board of Selectmen. Now, that said, we're all friends and colleagues on the different boards. So I was invited to join the CFO search committee, as was Sandy Arkell on my board as well, who's doing a great job. So there are ways that we can share the experiences we have to help drive it forward. My big focus is making sure that we talk about Wilton's finances, and I'm proud to say they're very healthy, that they stay that way. And so I tend to ask for a lot of data. And my board is a very analysis heavy board and a very data driven board. And there's not guesswork on my board. We don't put our finger in the air and do that. We very much go into the weeds. And so I do request that data. And a lot of the times I'll do the work myself just to make sure it fully makes sense to me and I fully get it. So that's how the Board of Finance tends to get involved. It's on the number side with the data that we receive. It's not so much the management the personnel because that's not our purview. But I tend to look at it. I take the powers that I do have, or as a member of the Board of Finance that I have, and I make sure that I can influence what's in my purview to influence.
What happens if the data doesn't come? For instance, the actuals, and you don't even have to answer that. I just was thinking that. I do
Sure
want
you
to ask
do.
you.
Well, look, I'm the chair of the board, and I have a responsibility. I have a fiduciary obligation to the people of Wilton. I have an ethical and a moral obligation to Wilton. I mean that very seriously. And so part of that is making sure that I get the data that I need, and the Board of Finance gets the data that it needs, whether it's budget guidance or whether it's budget to actuals. The charter gives us the ability to request information. That is a different word than ask, right? It does need to be supplied. And luckily, we have not encountered a situation where that has been withheld for us, and I don't anticipate that happening.